Hi, it's Jeannie. Welcome to my channel. So, you know those videos by ASMR artists who nurture you and take care of you when you're not feeling well, and they give you a nice blanket and a cup of tea and all those really nice nurturing things? Well, that's not what this video is. Nope. Because I need to be the person they're taking care of. I have a cold that descended upon me like a ton of bricks. So you could hear my congestion. And no kidding, we were out to dinner with some friends a couple nights ago, and I was fine 1 minute, and then the next, bam, my sinuses closed up, and that was it. So when we got home, I went straight to bed, not thinking that I can't sleep breathing through my mouth. So all night long, I was awake, trying to do everything to clear my sinuses because I had no nasal spray. I searched high and low throughout the night and I couldn't find any. So, anyway, I got to thinking, when we get these colds, and it's not in my chest, it's just in my nose, a cold in my nose, what is it we do? What works, right? We know that time heals everything. What do they say? Time heals all wounds. Well, most illnesses as well, most. But being in desperate, straits because I couldn't breathe out of my nose, and to me that is just so awful. I started thinking, what did they used to do back in Victorian times, pre-modern medicine times? So, anyway, I thought I'd show you what I do and contrast it with some of what was done in Victorian times. And I've used this book before. It's Household Discoveries and Mrs. Curtis's Cookbook. And it's got some really interesting things. Something I also discovered is if I continue to use this book, it's going to ruin it. Right now it's in decent shape, but I found that as I look through it more and more, I'm starting to wear the spine out. So I'm not going to do that on camera. So, some of the things that are my go-to solutions for a common cold are a cup of tea, and this is my favorite, Earl Grey. And today I put it in my cup, my Starbucks cup from Japan. So that's, I think, something all eras agree on is staying hydrated. So the second hydration I do is not only water, but I put in the immune, airborne vitamin C blast, and so I'm going to do that right now. So I can drink this while I make the video. Okay, I'll let that dissolve. Ooh, that's tart. So, hydration, and then nose spray. Oh, gotta open up those nasal passages because I'm not a mouth breather. I just can't breathe out of my mouth and sleep. So I'm gonna use some right now. So this is what I need by my bedside at night, and the only way I can sleep. So, and then for the daytime, this is an off-brand of, like a NyQuil day or nighttime, the orange tablets. So I take one. I half my doses because I'm really sensitive to drugs. And then last but not least, I try to use inhale these menthol type things. And, like Vicks. Do you remember Vicks? If you're a little older like me, and maybe they still have it, but my mom would put Vicks on my, chest or under my nose to breathe. And then, of course, lots of tissue. Lots of tissue. And then, of course, ibuprofen or acetaminophen for, if you have a headache or a fever, which I don't. I'm grateful for. So now, let's compare what my modern day recipes are to what they used to do back in Victorian times. So there was a product called Overall, not a product. It was kind of a recipe. You see that? And it was a beef bone broth. So much as the, recipe or the cure of chicken broth, they used beef bone broth. So, back then, nourishment wasn't always part of your daily diet. It wasn't 3 healthy meals per day. It could have been a lot of bread and very weak broth, or, a gruel. So, anyway, but they did recognize that when you had a cold, you needed better nutrition, and bone broth was a way to do that. So, now, that's normal. Let's talk about some other cures. When a cold or something got into your lungs, they had something called carbolic smoke balls that you would light and inhale that smoke, and it would fill your lungs and help cure your cold, your virus, your whooping cough. But the problem is, carbolic acid is toxic. So it's definitely not something we want to be inhaling. And this was kind of invented by Dr. Joseph Lister from Listerine. Do you remember that name? And he was the one who started disinfecting tools, between surgeries, and disinfecting tools between births. Women survived births more because he discovered that washing and disinfecting before you went to the next mom and the next mom and the next mom, was something that was beneficial. So, but not so much for this cure. This would have killed your patients. So, the next one is called vapocressoline. And here, I'll show you this. So vapocressoline was very much like Vicks or any menthol inhaler to kind of help open up your sinuses and clear up lung congestion. Well, the exception with this is it was made from coal tar. And like the carbonic acid, it's poisonous if it gets into you. So, not a good cure. So today, cressoline is used in products like dandruff shampoos and other skin products, but in very, very, I would imagine, very, very minimal, amounts. But it's not good to inhale. Okay, so now, I love my tea. Okay, so now another one that I find very interesting is a mustard plaster. A mustard plaster was a freshly prepared, which you could either make at home or buy, was placed on the chest or on the back in a 9x6 area and left on for a whole night or even for 24 hours. But the problem with it is it blistered. So they changed it to 20 to 30 minutes. So that would be interesting. Okay, another one, and I don't have a photo that goes with this, but for coughs of long-standing, vegetable balsams, specifically garlic or onion, syrups were considered to be especially beneficial. So, to make garlic syrup, you mash the garlic, add warm water, and allow it to stand for half an hour, but not heated. Then you squeeze through a cloth and you add some sugar. You can do this for an onion syrup much the same way. The syrups are well adapted to cases of long-continued coughs in children. It's great for hysteric-y females, chronic bronchitis, whooping cough, and consumption. I like that. Hysteric-y females. Give them a garlic syrup. That will shut them up. Anyway. I am staying hydrated. I'm taking my nose spray. I took a Dayquil Walgreens version. I'm drinking lots of vitamin C. And that's about all I know to do. So I'd love to hear some of your home remedies, your cures, something maybe from a family recipe or something handed down that worked for your grandmother. I think things like that are lots of fun, whether they work or not. Clearly, some of these old things don't work. They kill you. So, I just remembered something. When I was in 7th grade, we had to bring some kind of demonstration to do in a class. And we had an Italian friend. His name was Nate. Such a lovely man, old Italian guy. And once I had a cold, and he made this cure for me. And it was made from lemons, mashed up lemons, whiskey or bourbon, and honey. And he made this mash, and he gave it to me in a glass, and I drank it. I was, a young kid. I can't remember if it worked or not. But I did that demonstration in school. The teacher let me bring a bottle of whiskey, the lemons, the honey, and I had little Dixie cups, and everybody got a sample. It just tells you how much things have changed from, the early 70s to now, huh? Can you imagine, a kid bringing a bottle of whiskey or bourbon to school now to share with the class? Anyway, this cold will pass and I'll be back at it. Everything's very swollen. My eyes are swollen and red. But I wanted to jump on, and I thought this was a great topic, and I wouldn't have thought about it unless I had this cold. So, anyway, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me about your experiences, remedies, folklore, recipes for cures. And I will bid you adieu for now. I appreciate you being here on my channel. You guys are the best. You have no idea what your comments do for me during the day, especially some from my last video about my son. So, I hope your day is great. I hope you rest if you're listening to this at night. Maybe this is a little blah, blah, blah for you. And as always,